Hello, this is Daniel for day 14 of my gluten-free, dairy-free experiment. So far the challenge hasn't been too difficult and my compliance has been remarkably good. There have been a few minor slip-ups, and that was including eating some cheese powder on some healthy corn chips, and there was some trace ingredients possibly containing gluten, dairy and other products such as cornflakes and dark chocolate. The only notable lapse was eating a meal of chicken curry that used dairy cream where I thought it had used coconut cream. But interestingly enough, I actually felt worse the whole day after that I ate that. So, that was an indication that maybe it was that dairy that was making me feel a bit off. And while I can't state at the moment that my diet's been 100% gluten and dairy free, they've gone from significant components to negligible components, which I think will be acceptable since I actually don't have celiac disease. I'm not allergic to dairy. So I've been on the tail end of sickness this period with cold and flu-like symptoms again, and I would have omitted any of that data if this was the test period, but I have to include it this one because I'm moving forward now. My exercise levels have been fairly low though as a consequence of being sick, so I had time to recover. And despite these factors though, I'm surprised to note that all measures have improved by some degree. So I'm going to bring up the results in a text box. Green indicates improvements compared to baseline. So looking at the objective measures now, I've lost more than 1 kilogram in 2 weeks and my waist circumference is reduced by about 3/4 of an inch. All other objective measures are heading in the right direction at a reasonable rate, which is great considering I've made no extra effort to reduce my calories.
In terms of photographs, I had many taken, but I couldn't notice any difference other than that the light quality had changed. I think the side pose will be the one that best illustrates any differences long term. I've also changed the way that I've done my back pose. For a complete set of the pictures that I've taken, just check out my blog where I've posted them all.
I'll measure my fasting blood glucose levels next period. Now let's move now to the wellness measures. They've also improved as well. My mood and libido have surpassed the satisfactory point, and my felt sense of stress, which is the only inverted measure, has reduced as well. I've noticed days during this period where I felt quite high, which is excellent and encouraging. Now let's move now to the symptoms. I noticed dramatic improvements to my irritability and brain fog. In fact, I've felt much sharper during this period than I can remember feeling for a little while. My cravings for junk have remained fairly stable, but I was expecting these to persevere after abruptly giving up my favorite foods like ice cream and thick shakes and cookies and so forth. So I'll move now to the general observations as well that I noticed. And for the very first night that I started doing this, I've consistently been having vivid dreams, whereas I rarely had these before. And this has been a pronounced difference, and it makes me suspect that something's happening with my neurotransmitters, and that is likely acetylcholine and serotonin. I also noticed a period of things becoming worse before they came better, and the two best hypotheses I can put forward is that my body has been adjusting to a new diet which probably contains a lot more fiber, and I may have also been experiencing a period of detox. I'm just going to persevere and see what these amount to, but again I've experienced one episode of marginal keratitis, and that coincided with the cold-like virus that I was experiencing. So irrespective, I'm quite keen to continue the experiment and see if the trend of improvement can be sustained.